Today we're going to talk about the 5 key components of having a successful close in every single situation, whether you're closing over the phone, you're closing in person. This is the framework that I've used for many, many years. You probably heard some of it, but a lot of it you probably didn't. So my name is Michael Barayev. I was there with a little team of 150 plus sales guys. This is what we taught our sales guys on a daily basis to go out there and crush it through door-to-door sales, right? But this works on the phone. This works on anything you do. So, and right now we have a call center that's growing like crazy. So listen, it's growing like coast. It's growing like crazy from coast to coast like button toast. Anyway, so. There's 5 steps to a conversation. Some of you guys may have seen this, right? And what I've learned, intro, short story, presentation, close, rehash, right? There's 5 steps to a conversation, right? And what I've learned is that if you understand the framework behind this, you can close anybody and anywhere, right? So the first thing you understand, when you're knocking on a door, when you're calling someone, okay? When you're bombarding someone out of nowhere with direct response, right? Whether it's through a door, whether it's through a phone. You have to understand that people are automatically going to have their guard up. They're going to be like, okay, who are you? What do you want? And why are you calling or why are you here? So it's very important to, in your script, in your pitch, to have this part, okay? To have the intro down packed with, hey, my name is Michael, X, Y, and Z. Now, if you're doing it over the phone, you want to do a pattern interrupt that kind of makes them kind of like make them feel like they already know you. Like you want them to answer these questions. So they kind of feel like, wait, who's this? Do I know you? Because now you got them on the hook. But they're still going to be thinking about who are you, what do you want, and why you are there, right? And if you're doing business to business or face-to-face sales, right? They're thinking that the first couple of seconds. So your job is super, 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 super important to make sure you answer that really quickly in the process. Very, very, very important. Because if you do not, you will never get to the next process, right? So in the introduction, my goal is to let them know who I am, what I'm doing there, right? What I'm trying to do with them, and why I want to sell them the product that I need to sell them, right? So who may be, my name is Michael. The reason why I'm here today, there's been a lot of complaints in the area with X, Y, and Z situation. My intentions are super simple. Bada bing, bada boom. Right? Now, that includes with the short story. The short story is basically, it's kind of combined, intro, short story, by telling them this reasoning of why you're trying to talk to them. Like why it's imperative for them to listen to you. When you have that kind of mindset in sales, it makes people listen because nobody gives a shit about your product. Nobody gives a shit about you. They care about who? They care about themselves and their own shit. So the only reason why I'm doing this process is to figure out where is this person today? Where are they at? Okay? And where are they trying to go? And my job is to figure out how my product or my service can get them that. Otherwise, what's the point, right? They're not going to make a decision unless they see that this product or service or myself will help them get to the promised land. Now, you might say, Michael, how do I figure out what do they want and where they're trying to go? Very simple. Presentation. Not presenting, which is what most people think, is by asking questions, qualifying questions, right? So before I get into this detail, sir, let me ask you a couple of questions, see if it actually makes sense for you. How long have you been doing this? How long have you had this problem? You start asking qualified questions to figure out. You're gathering data. You're gathering intelligence. You're gathering information to figure out who are they? Where are they? Where are they trying to go? And what problem do they have? And most people, remember, most people make a decision based on what? Either running away from pain or running towards pleasure. Always. Nobody does anything for any other reason. People get married for either pleasure or they're running away from pain. People actually go into a car and drive to work for either pleasure or for running away from pain, right? They're going to work because they want to make money, because they either want to make money to buy stuff or because they don't want to be poor. It's always based on pleasure and pain, pleasure and pain, pleasure and pain. And when you understand that, it's very easy to make decisions. But you need to figure out what is their pain point and what is their pleasure point. What are they running away from and what are they chasing? When you figure that out, it's so easy to close the customer because you know what's important to them. And they're going to tell you that only if you ask in a very empathetic and curious way. Not in an interrogative way. Why do you want this product? Why did you want to do this? No, in a very empathetic, right? You got to have empathy. So empathy, which means you care about them, right? You genuinely care about them, not about your commission. Who cares about your commission? Who cares about how much money you're going to make? It's all about empathy. And then you also put curiosity. Because when you're curious and you're empathetic, you have a genuine tone to you. You're genuinely interested in serving that person. You genuinely want to help them, not for your pocket, but for them. So in the qualifying questions, you figure that out. And then you're going to identify their pain point or their pleasure point. You need to identify, if you could do both, even better. But you got to figure out one. I like to identify pain points because most people tend to run away from pain faster than running towards pleasure, right? Because pleasure, like listen, to buy a nice car sounds good. But if I don't have a car to get to work and I'm going to lose money, I'm not going to be able to feed my kids. That's a little bit more of a deeper reasoning why they want to make a decision, right? So identify their pain point or their pleasure point. And then once I figured all that data out, how much easier do you think it is to go offer that customer a product? How much easier is it to offer them a service? Very easy. Why? Because now I identified their pain point, I identified the product, I identified the pain point, I identified the pleasure point, I figured out what's important to them, where they're at, where they're trying to go, and now I'm gonna what? Provide them a solution. I provide them the product or the service. I'm the solution. I'm going to be the guy that's going to bridge that gap for you to help you get there. And this is what always happens. When you provide them the solution, they always get scared. They always have fear because most people have limiting belief factors. Because if they knew what to do, they would have done it already. They don't know what to do. They're afraid. They're afraid of making the wrong choice. They're afraid of making the bad decision. They're afraid. Why do you think most people stay single? They don't want to get married till later on because they're afraid of marrying the wrong person, right? It's easy to make decisions when you have all the answers, but if you don't have the answer, you're just kind of like, I don't know. So your job as a salesperson is to build up their confidence, build up their clarity so they can make a better educated decision, right? And then what happens is you get into this thing called objection land, right? A lot of times objections kick in here. The fear kicks in. The impulse drops. They're a little bit afraid. Like, I don't know. I want to speak to my wife. I want to speak to my cousin. All this bullshit. And that's when you have to handle their objection by building their confidence, not by dealing with their objections. The objections are bullshit, right? What you're dealing with is actually building their confidence and their clarity. The better their confidence, the better their clarity that this product and this service is going to help them get to the promised land, and there's less effort and less time and less sacrifice and everything they need to do to get there because your product will help them get there faster without any more additional pain, and they can get the pleasure point faster, guess what? They'll make a decision. Once you close them, most sales guys think what? Oh, that's it, I'm done. No, you're not done. Why are you done? What do you mean you're done? You're not done yet. You close them, but they're now thinking again about all this shit. Like, oh shit, did I make the right decision? Should I have not done this? Maybe I should have thought about it. I should have asked my cousin. They start going into doubt, fear, worry, disbelief. So your job is to rebuild that impulse again. Remember, when you sign up a customer, there's two places you need to close. You need to close, well, three places. In the beginning, you're closing them, because the second you start talking, you're closing them. When you actually close the documents and actually rebuilding them again at the rehash. So close number one starts here. Close number one starts in the beginning. Close number two was when you're doing the documents or whatever, signing the paperwork, making the transaction happen. Close number three is at the rehash. What does rehash stand for? Rehash stands for remember everyone has a sale hidden. Meaning they have other sales for you. Referrals come from rehashes, right? Asking for referrals. But you have to also remember, you got to rebuild that impulse, okay? Now, I went through this really quickly. If you would like to learn how we break this down for all our sales guys and how we got our guys banging on the phones, closing deals all the time, or banging on the doors, closing deals all the freaking time, if you want to learn more about this, DM me on Instagram. DM me on Instagram and I will help you with this process, okay? We have a course that literally will help you do this. We also have a boot camp, a Barai boot camp, right, where you actually go through this shit. I've helped hundreds and thousands of sales guys go through this process. This is the framework that helps people close deals all the freaking time. So if you love this kind of content, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Let's get to 100,000 subscribers, and we'll see you guys in the next video.